Thank you. Okay, we'll just start over.
Okay. Well, really, only person I didn't get was Marsha Anderson. Or you want me to start from the Okay. We got Michael, so Lauren Bush,
Here.
Billy Clark,
Here.
Terry Goins,
Here.
Steve Holloway,
Here.
Maria Hymus,
Here.
Tracy Jennings, Cynthia Kirby, here. Brandon Levican,
Here.
Anthony Lewis, Kitty Miller,
Here.
Michelle Nelson, Debbie Powell, here. Glenda Ramsey, Lee Ritchie, Alicia Risen, Crystal Sanders,
Here.
Rhonda Schreiber,
Here.
Jim Scholander,
Here.
Dirk Welch,
Here.
Linda Whitaker, Julie Young.
Here.
Okay, any public comments this morning or this afternoon? Okay. Conflicts of interest. Anybody in the report any conflicts of interest today? Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda. Okay, does anyone have any questions about the consent agenda? I have a motion to approve the consent of Billy approves, second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, on Zoom, we'll give you a poll.
I knew that.
I'm new here.
You're doing a fabulous job.
Okay,
Thank you.
all opposed, same sign. The agenda is approved. I'm gonna turn it over, for Lisa for a special presentation.
You'll understand why we're doing this later when I get to my report. So, again, thank everyone for coming. I would like to, take the opportunity to, introduce some special guests that we have with us today. We have Miss Anna Baker, who is the director of the Texas Veterans Commission for Veterans Employment Services. And we also have Larry Denton, who is the manager for the West Texas District for the Veterans Employment Services with the Texas Veterans Commission. And of course, then we have Mr. Dave for all of our meetings, but he is the district supervisor. And so they would like to share some news with us. And in the packet here, if any of you have seen that, where we had received a letter, I received a letter back. So, Anna, if you would like to.
Yes, thank you all so much for having us. Some other event came up. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but we're here today because we received a nomination for your business services team to receive some special recognition for the collaboration, the cooperation, the teamwork that our team has experienced working with your business services unit team. They had such wonderful things to say about you. Malaya Crum actually submitted the nomination, and we are happy to recognize your business services team today. So there is a letter, the letter that Mr. Palladino, he is our executive director. That letter is in your packet, so you're welcome to read that, and I'll read the certificate. The Texas Veterans Commission Veterans Employment Services presents the certificate of appreciation to Wichita Falls Business Services Unit on August 4th, 2023 for outstanding support to the West Texas District for providing service to veterans. So on behalf of my team, to your team, Lisa, thank y'all so much. We about the teamwork that we are receiving from your staff today.
Thank you. Well, and I'm just up here because I'm the executive director of the board. This is not for me. I would like my business services team to stand up. I've got Ginger is in here. I've got Nikki, Tom, Crystal. These are the guys on the frontline staff, and I don't want to, who else am I missing? That are doing the work every day for our customers in our counties. And these people deserve all of this kudos. Thank you for everything that you do every day for our employers and our job seekers. We absolutely would not be here without you guys. So thank you again for everything. You are appreciated. Bit of monetary award that also comes with this. So I will work with Crystal and her team to ensure that comes to them. Okay.
Can we get a team picture, please? If I can get the business services team members up here, you'll give us a brief minute to do that.
Is this a good place to cover, or would you want?
We're gonna pull it out.
Okay.
Can you do this all? You gotta do that. You gotta do that.
Yeah, that.
I think.
Yeah, Tom. Okay, I'm gonna switch places with you
Okay,
and
okay.
let you be over there with Lisa. I'll stand here, the girls.
Turn, all right, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Right to the report, so monitoring committee, I guess that's Sharon.
Yes, me. Okay, the monitoring committee met on Tuesday of this week. We didn't have a whole lot to discuss. We did go over our Diaz Smith and Associates fiscal integrity report, and that is on page 8 of your packet. Yeah, 8 starts on 8. This is just something that the fiscal monitors have to do each year to look at the integrity of both of our sub-recipients that receive funding from us to operate our programs. So they have to submit information to them and go over their data and then clear them to see that they are still a non-risk vendor to do business with. So going over the report, you know, it has all the legal things that they have to look for. And then towards the end of it, starting on page 20, is going through each section, and there were no issues found that were not in compliance. So every issue that they, or every category that they looked at, they were materially in compliance. So that is what we do want to see on these type of reports. So with that, we are able to continue our contracts with Equus and with Rolling Plains. So our new contracts will go out in October for our new year with them. And it's not anything you have to vote on. We're just making you aware of it, that this process was taken care of, and it looks good. So any questions on the report itself? Okay, other things in the monitoring, we were hoping to have an RFP to have voted on this time, but when I put out the RFP for the program monitoring, we only had one person or one agency that bid on it, so I did my due diligence of contacting other vendors that we had published an RFP to. I got a response back, well, they just missed it, and the one bid we did get was very out of our price range. So I've resubmitted or reissued the RFP on August the 10th. The responses are now due on September the 8th for that bidding. Other people have acknowledged that they did get it. So we will see how that turns out. So the ones who had volunteered last board meeting to be evaluators, we'll probably still reach out to the same people once we get those in and if it's a good response to the RFP. So more to come on that. Both the workforce and childcare gave their reviews, their updates on that. There were no monetary issues or any disallowed costs that was noted. They're both still doing their internal reviews. So then when we do get a program monitor hired, they can get the floor running. So that was it on monitoring. Any questions on it?
Well, and just to remind everyone of those who volunteered the last time, in case something has changed and you can't do it, it was Carrie Goins, Anthony Lewis, Melisha Razan, and Julie Young. So if, we will be reaching out to you once we get that RFP in for the program monitoring. And so if something has happened and you can no longer do it, we'll certainly come back to others and ask. So.
And then after monitoring, we'll go to page 23. It is our grant spending report that we usually do each time. This is our remaining balances that we have on our grants that we're working with.
And for those on Zoom, sorry, every time we try to share, it's kicking us off of Zoom. So I hope you have your packets in front of you. So we're not going to share anything anymore.
And we'll go on over to page 24 through 27 is our procurement list that we've got for the last 12 months. Just so you're still aware of what it is that we're spending our money on that's not program related. Whether you have any questions on that. Not much has changed, so that's it on mine unless I have any questions.
This report, executive director.
And mine's kind of short this time, actually, but I do want to let you all know that in September, we do have several board members that their terms are expiring. So I will be reaching out very, very soon to you. I have a letter in draft that I need to send on, but those are Lauren Bush, Cynthia Kirby, Brandon Littleton, Crystal Sanders, Jim Scholander, and Lee Ritchie. I will be reaching out to see if you all are interested in staying on, or if we need to start looking for replacements. Obviously, I would love for all of you to stay on the board, but I understand, it is a time, could be a time issue for you to come, but I hope not. So I'll be sending those out. I do have an individual that probably will not stay on the board. And so I've already started the process of trying to replace that individual. It's not very easy. I do not have any CEOs here today, but I'm supposed to get all of my nominations from my county elected officials, and that's difficult sometimes. So we have become creative in trying to outreach individuals that would like to serve on the board. So if you have anyone, that's interested in serving, obviously I'd like to have a discussion with you too. Our main thing is that you have to be a private sector. That's where we have to have 51% of the makeup of our board. And so those individuals, have to own a business, and there's certain requirements that they have to meet. So, again, just know that that's coming. We have an individual that has agreed to come on board, so I'm waiting on the judge to sign the paperwork for that, so I can submit that to the Texas Workforce Commission. And then we have another individual that's, showed some interest from the Burke Economic Development of coming on. And so, then also I would like to add, another representative from Vernon College. I've not had that in a couple of years because I didn't have enough private sector individuals. And so I have to keep my ratio to make sure that I'm still in compliance with my board, the numbers that I'm required. So if I pick up another individual from Vernon, I have to have another private sector. So to keep those numbers in line, and it's not very easy. So I'll be working on that. The next thing that I wanted to kind of inform you all of is we are currently starting the early stages of our budget planning for next year. One reason that I and my business and outreach managers up here doing this is I still haven't hired an administrative assistant. And I guess everything happens for a reason. I was notified about probably now, maybe right after the last board meeting, so almost 8 weeks ago, that our insurance was going to be increasing 47%. And it was going to affect, obviously, my budget of what we pay for our staff as well. And so I've been kind of waiting to see what was going to happen with that, because that's essentially a whole person. And so I just found out actually yesterday I got a call, and previous to this meeting today, our employer of record has decided they hired a broker that went out and did some individual solicitation. And so we are not going to be going with our same insurance provider that we've always had. And it's still going to be Blue Cross and Blue Shield, but they got us a much better rate. And so I'm waiting to see exactly what those costs are going to be. So I'm going to be able to move forward now, I think, with hiring an administrative assistant. So because the cost is not going to be as astronomical as what we were talking. So that's coming. So just to let you know that the October board meeting, hopefully we will have our budget ready, maybe for approval then, if the stars align and everything works right. Instead of waiting till December to do that. And then we've also got some childcare policies. A lot of that system is revamping, so I need some policies that I need to rescind, and I'll have the board vote on those, and then some new policies to connect. So we'll probably have a pretty heavy October agenda, of course, and hopefully we'll have an RFP at that point for so. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk to you all about, coming up, we've got word the 26th annual Texas Workforce Commission conference is being held in Houston this year. It's from November the 29th to December the 1st. So I would like to, if I've got anybody out there, I need to go ahead and make reservations for you if you're interested in going. We do have some time that we can cancel those, but I'd like to make sure that you all get in the hotel that the conference is being held at. That's much more convenient. But we also need to do the early bird registration if you're wanting to attend the conference, because after a certain deadline, it actually goes up. So I will be sending an email out on that as well. So be thinking about that. It's a great opportunity for networking. I know that there's others here that have gone. Carrie, I know that you've gone. I think you're behind the pole and I can't see you. Sorry. And so it's a great opportunity for networking and you know, seeing what the rest of the state does. But lots of opportunity for learning and education about the workforce system too. So I'll be sending out some information. So just reply if you're interested in attending that, and then I'll get with you to make reservations. And so unless I know, if anybody absolutely says right now, yes, I want to go, I'll put that out there. I'll send you an email. Okay. And then, that's really all of my report. I thought I was gonna have to do another report, but she got released from jury duty this morning. And so we wanted to give you an update on some great things that our community engagement specialist Caitlin's been doing for the childcare. It's in relation to our childcare partners, which Dawn will give her report in a little bit. Have Caitlin give her one.
Thankfully, I got released from jury duty. So basically, my job entails me being a liaison between directors of in-home daycare as well as childcare facilities, all licensed, and I've been trying to cast a net to see if anybody would be interested in contracting with Rising Star accredited. In doing that, it hasn't been particularly easy, but I have had some catches, if you will say. One, Robin Brady, Happy Hearts Preschool in Bowie, Texas, meeting with her on Monday to go over details. She seems very interested in our services and what we have to provide for her. Davina Coker, Lauren, thank you for that. She is in Seymour. She is an in-home daycare provider, and she's just waiting on licensing right now. And then I will be contacting her in September to go out and meet with her and give her all the details. Rebecca Tarpley, a woman from, I can't remember where she's from. I did not write that down. I'm so sorry. I messaged her, talked to her a little bit, and she's wanting to start a childcare facility. So I'm just kind of going to put her in the right direction with licensing. And then after all of that is approved and she has everything that she needs, that's also a potential provider. Tiffany Couch, Blooming Buds, registered in-home childcare facility here. I'm going to be giving her information tomorrow. I'm not sure about her status as far as licensing goes, so that's also information that we pass on to her. The YMCA has started an after-school program at elementary schools around town and in City View. So City View, Cunningham, Thane, then Franklin, Jefferson, John Tower, Booker T. Washington, which is very helpful if you're a parent and you have no place to put your kid in after-school care. The YMCA is doing that for our community and amazing. And also on that part, I was going to say that YMCA Colonial, their child care is still desperately looking for employees for spots. They had an amazing hiring event, and they were able to find people, but they're still in need. They only opened up 5 classrooms starting on Monday, and they have several children who are on a waiting list. The positions needed are 3 lead teachers, a full-time assistant, part-time employees, and a part-time cook. So if anybody knows of anybody who would like to go into those positions or be interviewed, please let us know so that we can get them in connection with YMCA. Another thing, I'm also working on another expansion opportunity within a childcare desert. I'm not going to give details to that yet because it's the process and it's being worked through right now. So that's about it for the people that I've contacted and I'm trying to work with right now. Hopefully within the next month or so, we'll move along with it and get more spots for our kids. Community gate engagement side, the part where I, promote what we do, what I'm doing. I came up with an idea to do social media videos, interviews with 4-star, Rising Star accredited centers, one of which is Carrie Goins, and we are posting those on social media every Monday and Friday. And pretty much what it is that it's a positive day-to-day account of what we are able to do for our child care people. And so I'm hoping that by doing that, we can cast it out to other providers who might see it on Facebook and be like, hey, that sounds like a really good deal. Let me contact them. The more contact that we get, the more spots we can open up through the process of contracting and putting Vortex Rising Star in front of it. The videos, like I said, are posted on Mondays and Fridays, so please share away. Share them as much as possible. The more we share, the more we'll see growth from that. And there's one other in-home daycare provider who's a 4-star provider who I've been messaging and leaving messages for that I want to interview as well, because in the TWC report that I read, a lot of in-home daycare providers don't realize that they are able to get the services that we provide. So that's something that I would like to outreach as well. That's about it. Thank you. Thank you.
And so it's staying with that, that concludes my report, since I didn't have to do that. So we can skip. Okay.
Donna?
Yeah, go ahead, let's do your report. Since we're on top of it. You might have them closer.
On the childcare report that's in there, we did a new, it's not really new, they used to do it before my time, where we would do the resource, deliveries where our providers, our daycare centers need like butcher paper and, you know, things laminated or die cuts for their center, and sometimes they can't come to it themselves. So, they used to do it before my time, but I've implemented it, so we're gonna do that again. And so there is a form on our website where the provider will fill it out, let us know what they need, and then I have someone who will get it all together and then deliver it to them. Right now, it's kind of as needed. We ask that you give us a week in advance notice. So whenever you put it in and you say, I need it on Monday, as long as it's a week from the time that you put it in, we should be able to do it. But if it comes down to where we're really busy and he's constantly running, then we'll have to do it on put it on a monthly schedule like they did before. But right now, it's just kind of as needed. Along with that, we also have programs like the Beyond the Page, and where we give our TRS providers books and supplementals. She's also going to be helping with that, delivering those to our providers. That way they don't have to come to our building to get them. So that's the program updates that we have, along with the YMCA that Kayla talked about, the child care after school program, which is huge for, like she said, our parents to, you know, have a transition of, you know, the time school gets out to who's gonna watch my kid until I get off at 5. So that's very helpful. And so my team actually worked overtime and lots of hours to try to get that in. And so I'm very proud of my team for that. Waiting list information as of August 7th, we have 247 children waiting. Those service times to, like, from the time they get approved and all that, the wait list is between 1 and 3 months. The way that we are doing placements on here, where it says performance and enrollment, the way that we do our performance is I have to be able to sustain the amount of children that's in our care for the whole year. So because our new budget is coming, our numbers were really low when I first started. I've been here a year, so our numbers were really low and we weren't placing at all. So we got our placements back up and now our numbers are high, but they're at 108%, which sounds good, but it's really not, because I have to sustain those kids. So what we're doing is placement. I don't want to completely stop placing children, because if I do that, then we're going to do this whole cycle of now we're too low, we're having to go back up. So what we're doing is we're slowing down on our placement. We did it the last board meeting. I think I talked about where we had stopped and we're doing only 8 placements a week. We're actually changing that starting next week, or I think we might have already started it last week, where we're skipping a week. So now, because our numbers are still high, August is going to affect it, because all of these after schoolers and kids going back to school, our numbers are going to drop a little bit, but they're not dropping where I thought they would. And so our numbers are still kind of high. So we're just doing the placements. We're still doing 8 placements, but we're doing it every other week. And so that part has changed. And then I'll obviously monitor it and make sure that our numbers are still staying where they need to be, and I can still be able to afford those kids throughout the whole year. So, but we're doing really good considering where we were when I first started. So again, that contributes to my team, client services, and Laneva Clark is our client service coordinator. You know, they work very hard on trying to get our numbers back up. So contracted childcare providers, with the help of Kayla and with the help of my provider service team, is now fully functional at 4 people. The state is taking over as of September 1st of all the assessments. So now all of my team are all mentors. So they can all dedicate effective September 1st to just mentoring our providers, introducing them to TRS, getting them on. Because as everyone knows, all of our centers have to go TRS. our numbers went from, I think, 79 to now 84 of our centers, or out of 84, 47.62% are now TRS. So that number is rising. We're getting more providers due to Kayla bringing them on, but we're also getting more on the TRS. Speaking of new TRS providers, Southside Youth Center, Tyler, his picture is in here. He is one of our newest TRS providers. He came in on a 2-star. And as I said last meeting, we're giving all of our centers who come on to TRS, we're giving them an incentive of $1,000 just for coming on to say thank you, we appreciate you, and here's a little taste of what we're gonna do. Because being a TRS center, you get more goodies, I guess you would say. So in the process of becoming TRS, which we have more added, I think we have 3 more that are not on this list, and I don't know their names, but Itty Bitty Childcare, Learn and Play, Corner Street Daycare, Building Blocks Play to Learn, First Baptist Church out of Henrietta, VIP Coach Childcare, O2B Kids, Learning Depot, University Academy, and then the YMCA Early Learning Academy at Colonial. They're all in the process of becoming TRS. There's 3 more added, I think. I don't remember their names, but I just got them this week. And so they're also being added. 4 of those centers will be TRS before the end of this month. So that'll be 4 new centers that are TRS as of next month. In the infant room expansion on our phase 1, we gave equipment and materials for God's blessing and for Learn and Play to open up new infant rooms. It has been a huge success. We were able to place 14 new infants into those rooms, and they're still there and it's going smoothly. So that's good. On phase 2, in our last meeting, it was Children Come First and Solid Rock Tiny Tots. Children Come First have had to back out because the pastor of the church that they're in decided that he doesn't want to do that. He wants to do something else. And so at this time, Children Come First have backed out and they're not able to do it. So in that, we're still doing Solid Rock Tiny Tots, but then the other one that we picked up was, I knew I was gonna forget. I can't remember, but we picked up another one. I can't remember the name of it. And so they're actually coming on. And so what we're doing is it's an infant room and then / transition room also. So it's still infants, but it's not geared towards like the babies with the cribs and stuff. It's more of the transitional where they're not quite old enough to go to toddlers, but they're still too old for the babies. And so it's like a transition room, but we're getting those done. And then that should spend all of our BSA grant money that we had, but those are in the process of being done. The equipment, actually, some of it just came in today, so I'm having to do the procurement, the rest of it, and send it out to them. So that kind of does my report for what's going on in our center, but then I also shared some of our community involvement and our professional development. So our provider service team, which consists of 4, 2 of them could go to the TRS Early Education Conference, and that was Adela San Juan and Allison Harlows. Allison Harlows is new to our center, but she's already certified as a mentor and she's moving right along. She's great. But those are some pictures of them. And then on Frog Street Press Flash 2023, all 4 of our mentors were able to go. They had a blast. There's so many more pictures I could have put on here, but I was like, it's really not work related because they all, I mean, they're all different with their personalities, but they fit wonderful. And, and it's great because they can relate to all of our providers because they're so different, and which is what I wanted on my team. And then Prerna Richards helped us whenever we were doing our assessment. And when we first came on, Adela was the only one that I had. And so she couldn't assess the centers that she had mentored, so I had to hire an outside assessor. So they saw her at Frog Street and took pictures, so she's also in there. Community involvement. We were at the 2023 Community Job Fair. I actually went with some of my other staff members. So that's all of our pictures being silly. And then the Town Square Media Garage Sale. It's not really an event where we would normally go to, but I like to go wherever our support is needed. And so even if it's not related, as long as we get a table out there and say, hey, we're supporting them, but come look at us also, it gets our name out there. So my provider services team went there for me. And then coming up, We had the project back to school on August the 5th. It was a total blast. We gave out everything that we took, as far as promo, and we got a lot. I think we got like over 20 applications back, for kids or parents who were interested in our services. The YMCA hiring event was August 10th. That's the one that Kayla spoke about. And we had a few people come by our table. Some of them didn't have children, but they still took our stuff because they were MSU students and their friends had children. And so they took our stuff to give to their friends. On August 15th, the Wichita Falls Housing Authority did a back to school bash. We put together 50 bags. They were like lunch bags, insulated lunch bags and bottles for the children with Band-Aids. We also put our information in there for their parents and gave those out. I think it was 50 or 60, but we gave all those out to them with information on our system, our program. Booker T Elementary YMCA Meet the Teachers, not something that we normally do, but Nikki Davis with the Y contacted me and said, hey, this is a school that, has a lot of low income children. And so we would like for you to show support that the YMCA is doing an after school program and for the children who might need your services that the parents don't know about you. So we decided again at the last minute, I think it was a 2-day notice. I got my team together and we went out there and we did it. And so coming up August 29th and 30th, Vernon College Resource Fair. We're doing the 29th is in Vernon. So we're going to go to the college and set up, I think it's from 9 to 3 or something like that. And then we're going to set up again at the Century City location. And then Baylor County Job Fair is August 31st. So that one we're going to go to too. So wherever we can support, that's what we do. Thank you.
Okay, so it's like another proud mama moment. What we just heard from Kayla and Donna, we're trying to do the role expansion, outreach, all childcare. And so, kudos to the staff at the Child Care Center and to Kayla, because we really have increased our numbers. We were in fear of one time the state calling us because we were low, and there's been a lot of change over the last year. So the team over there has, rebounded, and just Donna has kept them moving forward. And so good job to you. Thank you, Donna, for that. And so more great things to come. The more they can get out there and let people know again who we are and what we do, more children we can provide. So thank you all.
Okay, and then, the Workforce Solutions Workforce Center, Crystal.
Crystal, had to step out earlier, and so Ginger is going to give her report. There you are.
Okay, on page 20A, there is the July 2023 report. We had workforce services provided to over 1,700 job seekers and 51 total placements that were reported to us. There's a lot of those things don't get reported to us. So we have over 3,546 services we provided to employers and currently have a year-to-date of 2,249 job postings. And if you'll flip over to the next page, we're continuing to host hiring events, county job fairs, ribbon cuttings, and other community events as well. One of the things that we do is Summer Earn and Learn. It's our SEAL program that we partner with VR and place those children. We had 26 participants this year at 20 different work sites. So there's a couple of success stories. You can see Ruben's House of Classics was one of them. We sent placed Diego there, and he really liked it. We have a placement in Graham at the library. Candy Barrett. She loved working there, and it's the library in Graham is right across the street from our office, so it was really convenient. SEAL officially ended on July 28th, so we have a couple of success stories here. As you can see, we placed one at the Southside Youth Center. We placed another youth at Faith Resale Donation Center, and they all have some quotes on here. You can read through those. The kids really had a good time working this year. So, our event results, our community events and job fairs on page 31. My business services team has been super busy, putting on a lot of events. Jack County Job Fair, City of Wichita Falls, hiring event, street departments, the work services hiring event. We had a Cottle County Job Fair. Our partner up, which we partnered with the City of Wichita Falls, was very successful again this year with 101 employers and 355 job seekers showed up to that event. So that's a big one. We're gonna do that annually. It's gonna be an annual event at the Impact every year. So super happy about that. The Clay County Job Fair, we helped out the YMCA. Within less than a week, we put together a hiring event that was pretty successful. So the City of Wichita Falls Parks hiring event, and that's Parks Department, and then the city. I don't know what that department is, but there's a couple of pictures in there if you want to flip through of our Lisa giving an interview, and some of the employers that attended our event. And there's the YMCA hiring event on page 34. Rural service delivery, our rural library projects, we still have a couple of ribbon cuttings we're trying to coordinate with judges to get those done. So we still have 3 of those left to do, but there's a map there that shows you where we placed our career stations at the libraries. Tracy in our Graham office is active in the Workforce Education Committee over in Young County. And then there's a couple pictures of our Clay County Job Fair and workforce presentation she gave. Tracy actually gave a presentation at the Young County Jail for the inmates there, so that they would know where to go when they are released. There's
And
our,
Ginger, you might know that was a request I had from the county
That was
judge there, where he wants us to start penning in there every month to the jail. So we will start doing that, and helping those inmates prepare so when they're released. So,
yeah, because they're not given any support and told where to go. So at least they know they can come to us. So she's given a presentation on all of our services that we have available to them. Our mobile unit schedule is on page 37, still going to Seymour, Jacksboro, Archer, Hardeman, Cottle, and Ford counties. And then a couple of upcoming events. Again, very busy business services team. All red unit hiring event, Baylor County Job Fair on August 31st. And then in September is the Ford County Job Fair. There's a couple pictures of our team, and then also Commissioner Alberto Trevino came to visit us. And there's a couple pictures of the tour that we gave him. There he is. We did conduct some diversity training here for the employees at the center on June 14th. So there's a picture, still a picture of us at a team meeting. Measurable skill gains training that was held on June 21st. It seems like we're always having to learn something new. So
how do you have time to work?
I know.
You're training.
We're in
See, you're amazing.
training all
We
the
do
time.
so much.
We do. Another success story here at the end. Again, this is about, from Jessica Johnson, came to the workforce in June 23. Extremely rough summer. She was unemployed, could not afford childcare for 4 young children. She lives in a rural community, which also limited her childcare and employment options. She volunteered to participate in our Choices program. She received free childcare for 1 year, incentive gift cards, and supportive services, including gas cards and interview clothes. Jessica was very humble and truly appreciated the support. With the guidance of her case manager, Lisa McNamara, Jessica found a job within 7 days. She started working at Wichita Home Health in June 23. She said, I would like to take the opportunity to thank Workforce Solutions for all their help and services. I'm forever grateful. The Choices program removed a lot of barriers that she had to get her on her feet and help her be self-sufficient again. And then our survey results, when when folks fill out our online surveys, they can mention someone by name. If they mention someone by name, that person's name goes into a drawing, and we have, they get $100 gift card. So Stacy was the recipient for June, and Jean Turner, Stacy's our classroom facilitator, and then Jean Turner is our resource room coordinator, and she got the $100 gift card for July. And there's a couple of examples of some of the surveys that we put in. And
Thank you, Ginger. You did a great job filling in. Thank you.
Okay, Kendra's gonna report on rapid response.
This will be pretty quick, but I do have a couple of updates of closures that we have found out about since the last board meeting. The first one being Jean's Tasty Burger. They closed their doors at some point. It hit the news and we found out about it. We did not realize until that point. And through our research, it looks like that they will not be reopening. They're kind of in limbo, but it looks like they will not be reopening. The other one is actually confidential. Because their employees don't know yet, but we've been working with a manufacturer who has about 70 employees, and they have a production slowdown and are looking at doing layoffs, not a closure, but temporary layoffs. They're trying to minimize the impact to their employees, so they're looking at some of the programs that TWC offers through unemployment to see how they can qualify for some supplemental assistance or unemployment assistance if they do have to shut down. They know that it is pretty much a done deal that they're going to have to shut down for a period of time. They're just trying to minimize the financial impact. And so myself and Tom and then our regional unemployment representatives have been in communication with them to try to work something out. So now they are directly working with TWC, we're just kind of waiting this year. They were wanting to shut down the week of Labor Day. And so we're kind of in limbo there on the day. So just fingers crossed, prayers, whatever, that things turn around for them. Because a lot of times when we start seeing layoffs, sometimes it leads to permanent layoffs, and right now they're trying to avoid that. So shouldn't end the meeting because we have lots of conflict.
But that is positive that we are able to connect them with TWC and hopefully, circumvent that. And hopefully they won't have to close. Or like, that's a positive.
And one thing I will, and on a positive note, because we've mentioned the YMCA several times, and I just want to say that, give a plug for the YMCA. They're doing everything that we asked them for, but they are really struggling to staff. So, like Kayla and Donna mentioned, if you know of anybody that is looking for work, that likes kids, that's retired, they have full-time and part-time jobs. And like I said, they've done everything fast to do in expansion. And then, their main facility is a 4-star center. They're trying to be TRS centers, the rest of their programs. And that's what we want to see. But they're very, very suffering. So the hiring event that we had, there were only 9 job seekers that attended, but they hired at least 7 of them. That they had positions, I think that he's not in the head, so I think that's correct. They had high quality people who came to that job fair. And so they were very happy, even though it was a low number, they got high quality people. So I like to put a plug in for that, because sometimes the numbers don't reflect them.
Anyone have any questions or comments? And we will adjourn at 12:56.
Thank you all.
You're an hour.